Welcome to the 4-Star Show here on Amazon Live. My name is Kelsey Nixon. I'm your host. I'm a cookbook author and cooking show host, and I can't wait to be bringing you, for the next hour, 5 of my favorite 4-star or above Amazon products. So I want to tell you where this whole idea came from. I don't know if you guys have ever had the chance to shop at an Amazon 4-star store, but it's awesome. It's basically a retail experience filled with a bunch of Amazon products that all have 4 stars or higher. And if you guys are anything like me, when I go to purchase anything on Amazon, the first place I look is the reviews. That's what really influences me to decide whether or not I think a product might be a good fit for me. So I wanted to take that same experience, 4 stars or higher, and bring it to the Amazon Live space. So every week we're gonna do an hour full of demos, and we're starting with kitchen breakfast essentials. So I wanna take one full hour to focus on 5 products in the same category. Because I'm a cook and I'm a mom, I've got 3 young kids at home, I felt like the kitchen was a great place to start. Now that we're getting ready to kick off the new year, one of my family's primary goals for this coming year is to eat better breakfasts. I'm being honest, we're not great breakfast eaters, usually because we're trying to run out the door, we're not making enough time for it. So I wanted to invest in a few things that might make breakfast a bit more exciting for us. So these are 5 of the most popular breakfast gadgets on Amazon, and I can't wait to show them to you. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to tackle is the very popular Dash Rapid Egg Cooker. This thing is so cool, especially if you and your family love to eat eggs. You cannot make eggs any easier than this. So the way the unit works is it has a tray that holds 6 eggs, and you can either hard boil, medium boil, soft boil eggs super easily. You can also poach eggs and make omelets in here, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So the first thing you do is you are going to use, it comes with this little measuring cup like this. And you'll notice that on the measuring cup, it has lines for hard, medium, soft, and then omelet and poached on the back. And you will fill water to the correct line of how you want to cook your eggs. So in this case, I want to hard boil 6 eggs. And look, this is great whether you're looking for just a high protein snack or you want to make deviled eggs, or it's Easter time and you're wanting to dye eggs. There's a lot of different reasons that people like having hard boiled eggs on hand. Ooh, making an egg salad, wouldn't that be great? The bottom here snaps off and there's a little pokey on the bottom. And what you're going to do is you're going to poke each egg before placing it in here, and that's as difficult as this gets. So first thing, I'm going to add my water to the heat plate right there. Now I'm going to take my eggs, and this is almost like a pin, if you can see, and you want to prick the bottom of each egg. And I have used this a lot and never had a problem with an egg cracking, but you will see a small hole. Now this hole is going to face upwards in the tray. So I'm gonna do all 6 of these eggs. And keep in mind that it's the water amount that determines how your egg's going to be cooked. So if you want a hard-boiled egg, you add more water, medium, less, soft, and so forth. And the way the unit works is that it heats up on the bottom, and once all of the water is evaporated, it turns off on its own. So you don't have to worry about doing anything in setting a timer or anything like that, because it just turns off for you and it's perfect. So now that this is ready to go, I'm going to put the lid on, and you'll notice there is an option to lock it. You don't want to lock it while cooking. The locking is really just for storing. And there's a small button right here, and I'm just going to push this button and we're off to the races. That's all you have to do in order to make these eggs. All right, I've got my button pushed. You'll notice that the steam will start to develop, and that's all I have to do. So while my hard-boiled eggs are working away over here, let's talk about another Dash product. So Dash is this great company that's sold on Amazon, and if you look at their page, you'll notice that they have many items that are 4 stars or higher. They make really great options in the kitchen category. A couple of things that I like about them is they have these really fun, bright colors. You'll notice that this griddle is a fun aqua color, but they consistently make products that are great quality at a fantastic price. In fact, the egg cooker, I didn't even get a chance to tell you guys, this is almost always under $20, and it's got nearly 30,000 reviews. So that to me says, if 30,000 people think this is 4 stars or higher, I'm probably gonna like it, especially if I'm looking to cook eggs more often. All right. The griddle, what I love about this, I was immediately drawn to it because of its large cooking surface. Lots of times an electric griddle will be a smaller cooking surface, and I like that I can do 2 things here. I've already got some bacon going, and I wanna make egg in a hole, which I think depending on what part of the country you're from, it's called a couple of different things. I've heard it called toad in the hole, egg in a basket. Anyways, I'm gonna make egg in a hole. This is what my family calls it. And so what I've done is I've taken some bread and I've just gone through and I have used the bottom of a glass to cut out a circle like this. And these are gonna be little toasts for us. And inside each hole, I'm going to add an egg. Just gonna crack an egg. This is such a fun breakfast. My kids think this is awesome. And then we'll simply flip it over. Now, you'll see that I've already started cooking this bacon, and there's a little bit of bacon grease just because. There's no explanation needed. I'm gonna take a little bit of that bacon grease and use it almost as if I was buttering my little breakfast toasts and really allow it to absorb that flavor. Who doesn't love a bacon toast, right? So while I'm doing egg in a hole here, you could do pancakes, you could do French toast, you could do a variety of other things. And I'm just thinking about breakfast. When I'm thinking about the Dash griddle, I'm thinking about a weekend breakfast where I'm cooking for everyone in my family and maybe doing a couple of different things. Now, you could keep this out and use it for other things beyond breakfast. You could do a stir fry on this. You could do fajitas. You could flip burgers and hot dogs. I mean, literally, you could act as if you were a short order cook with this griddle, which is so exciting and so fun because it's like a flat top. And I think it's a really smart product. Here's a couple of other features. So it's a non-stick surface. So one of the things that's so great about this is you literally can wipe it off afterwards with a wet, soapy rag, and that's it. You never want to submerge this in water. You would never be removing the plate to wash it in the dishwasher or something like that. All it takes is really just wiping the surface and it's clean in no time. And when I say it's clean, it like literally looks like it just came out of the box. It's a really fantastic feature. Now, the other thing that's really nice is that there's a grease, what do we call this? Kind of, it catches all of the grease in the bottom here. So all of this grease that we're gonna get from the bacon, or if you were making burgers or something like that, you could even do steak on this, it's gonna catch all of that down there, which is great. Because it's a non-stick surface, you shouldn't need really any other, you shouldn't need any butter, you shouldn't need any non-stick spray or anything like that. It should release. Dash is known for their great non-stick stuff, and I have found this to be fantastic. All right, I'm gonna let this bacon go for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to flip it. But I think, like, I'm already starting to get some great color on these little bacon toasts. Ooh, those are gonna be so good. I'm noticing that my eggs are starting to set, but I'd like for them to set just a little bit more before I flip these. Because it's a non-stick surface, you'll wanna work with utensils that are either silicone or wood. You wouldn't really want to use a metal spatula or a metal spoon or anything like that, even metal tongs on the surface, because you wouldn't want to scratch it or damage it. So look for utensils that have the silicone tips or bases there. It's really great. I know it comes in a couple of different colors, and I think that the price is fantastic. Over here you have a dial where it goes from low to high. I was keeping things pretty low. My bacon was screaming at me earlier, and so I turned it down just a little bit. But in the booklet that it comes with, it tells you what temperature is aligned with each dial, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So depending on what you're cooking, like if you were cooking burgers and you wanted to get a really great sear or char on them, then you would rev that baby up all the way. If you were cooking something like bacon and you noticed that it was almost cooking too quickly and you wanted to slow it down, you just simply do that with the dial. So I find that that dial is really user friendly. All right, so while this is going, another thing I want to show you guys that's interesting about this is, so when you start to see some of that grease pool up, if you need to, you can just move it ever so slightly and it all just drains right into that little craft down there. It's really, really cool. All right, let's see if we are ready to flip. I think we can flip the eggs. Should we do it? Should we go for it? All right, now typically I would use more of a traditional spatula, but I want to use something that's rubber, so I'm going to make it work with this. And we are just going to flip it. Perfect. Oh, this looks so great. You know what, before I flip this one, I actually want to add a little salt and pepper so I can season that egg on both sides. This is the one I want. There we go. All right. So while I let these other sides cook, I'm going to flip this bacon. Smelling so good. No breakfast is complete for me without bacon. You could obviously do sausage on here as well, but bacon is always, bacon's my love language, really. I'm always up for bacon. And these little toasts, you know, depending on how runny you wanted your yolk, if you wanted a little bit of a runny yolk, you could pull these off now and then use your toast to sop up that egg yolk. Oh, it would be so, 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 so delicious. All right, so I want to come back to the egg cooker while this finishes. So what's going to happen, it's going to be really fun, it's going to start to serenade us. Truly, when the eggs are done, when they are fully hard boiled, the machine literally plays a little tune. It's not even an alarm, it's not even a bell, it's like a little tune. And it's so pleasant. And that's how we'll know they're done. So once you add the water, you put the lid on, you really don't have to do anything else. You don't even have to set a timer. It times it for you, which is really fantastic. So once those eggs are done, it's going to let us know. Now, a couple of things about this. I mentioned that there's the hard boiling and the soft boiling and the medium boiling. You also can use this tray, which I'm going to show you guys how to do, to poach eggs. And a poached egg is my husband's favorite. In fact, he calls poached egg over toast man on a raft. And that's one of his favorite breakfasts. So this poaching tray is really great for our family because if you ever poached an egg the good old-fashioned way, the way I learned in culinary school, it's, well, interesting. It's a little bit cumbersome. You literally kind of create a tornado effect in a pot of water. You add some vinegar, and as the water's swirling around, the egg white wraps around the yolk. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But guess what? It always works. It always works in the poaching tray with the egg, with the Dash Rapid Egg Cooker. So this is a really easy way to do that. I imagine that we're pretty close over here. And I think our bacon is looking good too. I'm gonna give it one more flip. And then, depending on your egg in a hole, depending on how you like that yolk cooked, I'd probably pull mine off right now. And this bacon is looking good. So what I'm going to do is when it's looking like you're about done cooking on the surface, I'm just gonna turn this off. And this will start to cool down. And it's really simple. In storing it, even though you get a huge cooking surface, it's not that cumbersome to store because it's flat. So you can stack other things on top of it, which I have found to be really great. All right, okay. So to finish off these egg in a hole, I wanna show you the other side. It looks really similar. You can say, ooh, I've got that salt and pepper going on there. Ooh, so, so, so yummy. The way I like to really finish this off is with a little bit of avocado and a squeeze of fresh lime, and that is one delicious breakfast. Love, love that. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cool down. This is gonna start singing at me, and then we're going to poach these eggs as well. So the difference that we're going to take is in the amount of water we're going to add. So I, last time around, filled this to the hard boiled state. Next, I'm going to fill it to the omelets and the poaching. So I mentioned the poaching tray. I want to show you guys the omelet tray as well, which is similar in size. It's just round like this. So if you were to make an omelet, I would add 2 eggs to this. You could add some cheese, you could add some ham, you could add some peppers, whatever you wanted. And this is almost like a personal sized omelet. And it's a really it's a great other function. I was actually just thinking, I've got a little girl that's just starting to eat and she loves eggs, and this would be so great for her. I'm gonna have to try that. I'm just waiting for this to start singing to me. It's really elaborate. Guys, I want to remind you that if you're enjoying the show and you would like to be notified every time I come on with a 4-star episode, you can follow me by clicking this button, hover, click, follow me right here on Amazon Live. And I also want to remind you that all of the products that I am sharing today are going to be shared in the carousel. So keep in mind, these are products that all have 4 stars or higher on Amazon. These are customers' favorites. We're talking 30,000 reviews, 5,000 reviews, 35,000 reviews. Like, not just a few people have tried these. Thousands and thousands have tried them, loved them, used them in their kitchens, and loved them so much that they came back to write a glowing review, which I think is so, so exciting. All right, so now that this has cooled down a little bit, I actually do want to show you guys just how easy it is to clean this up. I'm gonna let it cool for just a bit, but it just wipes up so easily. So in something like this, one of my biggest hesitations with investing in a large piece of cookware or whatnot is the cumbersome nature of it being difficult to clean. And that's one of my favorite things about this griddle, is that literally just by wiping it, it looks like it just came out of the box. It really is amazing. Dash did a great job with that. Okay, let's prep these eggs to be poached while these are finishing. When it comes to using the egg poaching tray, it really couldn't be easier. I'm just gonna set this down. And it's just like cracking an egg and throwing it in there. I mean, it really could not be easier. I'm gonna get one more egg, do the other side. Perfect. I'm ready for this to start singing at me at any moment. All right, maybe while I wait for the egg cooker, you know what's actually really cute? First time I noticed this, this is like the shape of an egg. It's like the Dash egg cooker that's shaped like an egg. This comes in lots of different colors too. I got black, but it comes in this really fun mint green. It comes in a red, and it's just it'd be a great gift for somebody. It's awesome. All right. While we wait for our eggs, let's move on to, I'm smiling when I think to bring this up, because the first time I bought a magic bullet was when I was in college, which was many years ago. And a magic bullet has been around for a long time. And there's a reason why people keep coming back to it. Blenders have really had a moment in the past couple of years, and you can buy a really expensive blender that does a lot of things. I own one. I love that. It really, it's an awesome thing to invest in. But also, if you were looking for a blender that just tackles smoothies in the morning, protein shakes, maybe you want to do purees. For me, I've got a baby at home, you're doing baby foods. It's really tough to beat the value of the magic bullet. Literally, for under $30, you are going to get a blender that tackles the job with such a little footprint. That's, I think, what I love so much about it, is that it is so friendly when it comes to countertop space. The version that has over 30,000 reviews on Amazon comes with a couple of different containers. It comes with a small, a medium, or a tall is what it's called, a tall with a handle, and then another tall. And one of the things I like so much about this is it comes with a couple of different lids, so that if you wanted to make a smoothie and be on the go, this is a great way to do that. But I also want to show you this one. I'm going to run to the freezer and grab one that I prepped the night before. Check this out. Just in time. I told you it's a jig, right? I love that Dash was like, let's not do a ding, let's do a full-blown song. So great. All right, we're gonna come back to Magic Bullet. All right, there we go. My eggs all nestled and perfect. I actually want to use my tongs to remove them off the tray since they will still be pretty hot. But The other thing I have found with the rapid egg cooker is that when you cook eggs in the cooker, they're super, super easy to peel. And that can be one of the biggest annoyances with making hard-boiled eggs, is when they are so difficult to peel. All right, so my eggs are ready to go. I'm gonna let them cool before peeling, and I'll make sure all of that water has been evaporated. So in order to do my poached eggs, I wanna take that out. This is just a little center. It helps you lift up the tray. That comes out easily. Oh, but I want to also add my water. I can just leave the tray. So remember, we filled this all ready for the poached egg. That's gonna go on the heating plate. And I'm gonna take my poached egg plate here, and this is gonna go right on top. And I put the lid on. It's reset, so all I have to do now is hit the button again. And what's so smart about this cooker is because of the amount of water I've added, it knows that it's going to do the length of time to perfectly poach those eggs. It takes all of the guesswork out of cooking eggs, and it makes it so, so simple. So it doesn't matter if you've got someone in your house that likes soft-boiled eggs, omelets, poached eggs, you literally can do it all with this little machine. So the poached eggs tend to go a little bit faster than the hard-boiled because they're not cooked as much. So this will sing to us again. But in the meantime, let's make a smoothie with our magic bullet. All right, so I pulled this out of the freezer. What's cool about these is it comes with a couple of lids so that if you wanted to prep your smoothie the night before, you could easily do that, or the week before, truly. So I've got like a tropical smoothie going on here, a tropical green smoothie. I've got a base of spinach. You could do kale as well. I've got frozen pineapple, frozen green grapes, some frozen banana in there. And because I'm going tropical, I wanted to add some coconut water, but you could also add juice, you could add almond milk, you could do whatever. And I like to add enough liquid so that it's about halfway up. There you go. Obviously, the less liquid, the more thick your smoothie is going to be. I'm gonna also add some chia. Now, you guys, if you are just joining, or if you've been with me for a minute, please feel free to jump in the chat. I'm in the chat talking to you. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Maybe you have some of these 4-star products and you love them. I'd love to know what you're doing. Maybe you've got a big secret or a favorite recipe that you do on the griddle or with the egg cooker. Please tell me. I would love for you to say hello. Okay, so we added chia seed, we added coconut water, and I'm gonna add some fresh lime as well. I love fresh citrus in just about anything, including my smoothies. Instead of this lid, we're gonna add the crossblade lid. When it comes to the magic bullet, I have found it so easy to do that with supervision, my 8-year-old literally can make his own smoothie and even gets enjoyment out of doing so. So it really is kind of fun. Once it's ready to go, you just align it with the proper notches and you press down and watch the magic happen. There you have it. In less than 30 seconds, you've got a well-blended smoothie. So simple to prepare the night before or the week before, whatever it may be. So simple to literally switch out the lid, pop it on, and press down with power. Love it. You could do so many different things here, whether you're making pestos or sauces or purees. When you're deciding what type of blender to invest in, I think one thing I would think about is what you want it to do. If you're looking for a blender that also juices, I'm not sure this is the best one. If you're going to be blending more fibrous things, you might want something with a little bit more power. But what you get with the Magic Bullet is you get amazing value. You get a big bang for your buck. It's super affordable and honestly does most of what we all want a blender to do, which is make a delicious protein shake or smoothie. So keep that in mind, and you may decide that you want both. I have a big, substantial blender that I use for more cooking related tasks, but I don't have a ton of counter space. So each time I have to pull it out, it's kind of a production, as opposed to the Magic Bullet that's really compact and really small, really easy to pull in and out of a cabinet. So keep that in mind.
What else? Love my magic bullet. Really, really so great. You could, like making a chimichurri. I'm just looking at this thing with chimichurri to put over a steak. You cook your steak on the dash griddle. You can make a chimichurri sauce, a little cilantro, a little parsley, some red wine vinegar. I mean, I'm just making a meal right here all together. All right, so at this point, I wanna show you, now keep in mind, if I were to make it in this one, I could literally take this on the go with me as I commute to work or whatever you would be doing. Our breakfast looks good and ready to go here. I wanna move on to another product. So I'm gonna swap out my griddle and talk about an omelet maker. Now, this was new to me when visiting the Amazon 4-star store. And what's so great about that retail experience is that you walk in thinking that you've heard about all of the latest and greatest Amazon finds, and then you walk the aisles and realize, well, I haven't seen this, I haven't seen that. This is pretty great. And I came across this omelet maker and thought this could really solve a problem for my family. Oh, there we are. Singing again. My dash egg cooker is done. Isn't that so funny? And just push the button to make it stop singing. And this is where we have our poached eggs. And they are so perfectly poached. Keep in mind you've got some steam, so you'll want to be extra careful. But if I can just show you guys, they literally are perfectly poached eggs. If you had some crispy toast, buttered, little salt and pepper, little fresh lime, some avocado on top of those, it's good. Honestly, poaching eggs has never been so easy. All right, so since I'm done with my egg cooker, let's also swap this out. I'm gonna let those eggs rest. And in the meantime, move on to the omelet maker. So I have omelet lovers in my house, and sometimes I feel like I'm a cook at a buffet, taking everybody's omelet orders, because everyone likes a different omelet in my house. I like more of a Greek omelet with spinach and nutmeg and feta and fresh tomatoes, whereas my kids love a good old-fashioned Denver omelet with cheddar cheese and diced ham and peppers. My youngest daughter only wants a cheese omelet. So if you find yourself making lots of different omelet orders, this is great. So this is made by Holstein. This has lots of great reviews, and it's two-sided here. So you can make two different omelets at once. So you can satisfy two people's requests and do it all in the same go, which is awesome. All right, I'm gonna plug this in, and I am going to make a Denver omelet today. I'm gonna grab one more egg. So for each side, you want 2 eggs per side. So since I'm going to be doing both sides, I want 4 eggs total. So let's just assume that I am going to satisfy my daughter's request for an all-cheese omelet and my son's request for a Denver omelet. I'm gonna show you how simple this is. I hope I'm not the only one that feels like I'm constantly cooking things to meet multiple different people's preferences in my household. First, whisk these eggs up. And I've got to show you guys this. This is the cutest thing. I also found this at the Amazon 4-star store. It's like the world's smallest whisk. It's a 6-inch balloon whisk. And for small jobs, I actually find it pretty satisfying to use. Although I'm a pretty short person, I can imagine that someone who is taller and bigger might look pretty funny using a 6-inch whisk. All right, good whisk on those eggs. Let's add some salt and pepper for some flavor. And the way you turn this on is you simply just plug it in. And what it's going to do is there's going to be an indicator here. There's a red light when it's not ready and a green light when it is ready. So we'll wait for that light to go green, and then we know we're ready to go. It's got a nonstick surface, so you could spray it with a little cooking spray, but it's not entirely necessary because it is coated in that nonstick surface. All right, so first thing, we're gonna add some cheese. I'm making a cheese omelet, But keep in mind, there's 4 eggs in here, so I've got enough for 2 omelets. Oh, and I just saw the indicator light turn to green, which means it's ready. So I'm gonna take about half of this with the cheesiness on one side and add it. And the other half, I'm going to add some diced ham. I'm going to add some diced peppers. And because I really love my son, I'm gonna add even more cheese. And this will go on the other side. Now this way I'm satisfying 2 people's requests with one simple recipe. Can you believe that? Isn't that so cool? So I will know they're done once that light clicks to green again, but keep in mind that it's really easy to check. You may check and that light's green and notice that it's still a little wiggly in the center. If that's the case, just go ahead and put the top back down again and give it a few more minutes to finish cooking throughout. It really isn't rocket science. It's really simple. I think the thing I like most about this well-reviewed product is that you can do the 2 separate omelets in one way. And if you are big omelet cookers, think about it. Making a traditional omelet, pulling out the skillet, you having to do the flip, right? And you're hoping that it doesn't break. It can be a little bit more exhaustive, right? It can be one of those things that even makes some home cooks nervous. With this, it could not be easier. Literally could not be easier. So if you're looking for something that's gonna help you save time in the morning by accomplishing the skill of making an easy and delicious omelet, this is a really great product to check out. I'm so glad that I saw it when I was in the Amazon 4-star store. All right, so let's move on. While this finishes, I want to talk about one other item here. The next thing we're going to talk about is a really popular waffle maker on Amazon, and this is the Oster waffle maker. And this has got 15,000 reviews. That's a lot of reviews. That's a lot of people making waffles. And I have purchased a couple of waffle makers in my day. And I think the thing that makes this one feel so appealing is the value that you get for the price. It's super, super affordable. And it does a great job. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. It cooks waffles. Before we pour this waffle batter in, I want to remind you guys one more time, if you could just follow me, that'd be great. I'd love to be able to share all of these ideas with you, all of these products that I love, that thousands and thousands of people love here on Amazon. Remember, every product that I'm sharing today has 4 stars or higher. It's really similar to that retail experience of walking into an Amazon 4-star store and just walking around and see what is beloved by Amazon customers. So, all right, while our omelet finishes, I actually want to show you guys this midway. You'll notice that it puffs up. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. I got to be patient. The good news is you can't ruin anything by opening it and closing it. One of the things you'll look for here is for the steam to come out the sides. And once there's no steam coming out the sides, you know that you're pretty close to it being done. All right, so we've got our savory omelet going over here. Let's talk about some sweet waffles. So this Oster waffle maker, like I said, is so affordable. It's got 15,000 reviews. There's a couple of things that are really smart about the design and the reason why I think it performs so well on Amazon. First of all, it's got this cool dial. So there's a min and a max. So you can determine if you like your waffles crispier and more cooked through, then you're gonna wanna be closer to that max. If you like them softer and a little bit more like a soft bread, then you're gonna wanna be closer to the min. I find myself really preferring about 3/4 the way through. And similar to our omelet maker, you're going to see a red and a green light. You know that it's ready to cook when that light is green. So right now we're still red, and so we want to wait. But as we open it up, you'll notice that there is a handle here. The handle never gets hot. I know that I have had experiences in getting burned by a waffle maker, and so I like that it's got a nice big lip here so you don't have to worry about it getting hot at all. Inside you have these nice deep grooves. What I like about that is that's going to result in a waffle that has those big valleys, so that whether you're adding syrup or fruit or whipped cream or chocolate chips, whatever it may be, it's going to get in all of those crevices, creating delicious bite after delicious bite. So I've already made up some batter, but I want to talk about the batter for just a minute here. I am such a fan of making my own waffles, and there are times when I consider myself super mom and I'm making waffles that have got all sorts of healthy ingredients in them. But on the weekends we have our favorite Krusteaz waffles, and I want to show you guys this mix because it really is just a favorite for me and my family. It's the Krusteaz Belgian waffle mix, and I have bought it in bulk on Amazon before because we go through it so quickly. It's like the perfect balance of sweet and crispy, and I think that's what I like about it so much, is you do get those crispy edges, which make waffles so delicious. So I love that Belgian waffle mix. You guys should check that out. When it comes to, and the other thing, it's not a just add water. You add an egg, you add some oil, and so that contributes to those crispy edges. It's the egg that's gonna give you that crispiness. I like using, I mentioned the baby whisk. If you're looking to graduate from the world's teeniest whisk, where'd that go? Here it is. The world's teeniest whisk to the next teeniest whisk. This is one I really like. This is made by OXO, and while this is a 6-inch balloon whisk, this is considered a 9-inch balloon whisk. I also have the OXO 11-inch balloon whisk. I love all of them. I do find though, if you've got small hands like I do, having a smaller whisk makes it a little bit easier to manipulate your ingredients, and that's something that I enjoy having. It makes it easier. If you look in my batter, one thing I've done is I've added some fresh raspberries. I'm gonna add just a few more. If you're going to use a boxed mix, like a waffle mix or a pancake mix, one thing I like to do to kind of give it some flair or make it feel like it's our own is by doing some add-ins occasionally. And that's what I've done with the raspberries here. We all love raspberries in our house. And so making a raspberry waffle is a really fun way to take a classic waffle and just mix it up a little bit. So I like to break them down with the top of my whisk just so I get that raspberry bite, that raspberry flavor in every bite. And I think we're about ready. This has just turned green. I want to check on my omelets as well. See, I told you they'd puff up, right? So it looks like they're nice and puffed, but I'm noticing this one's still a little loose in the center. I don't know if you can see that. So we're gonna give it just a few more minutes, but isn't that so cool? They really puffed up like that. All right, I'll give that a few more minutes and get my waffle going. I like to use about 3/4 cup of batter in the waffle. And this is one thing that you'd think that after making waffles for so many years, this is something I would have already known. But as you make a waffle, you want to start on the outside edges and then fill in. I think most people are inclined to put the batter right in the center and have it bleed out. We're going to do just the opposite. We're going to take about 3/4 cup, go around the perimeter, and then fill in the center. Just a little bit more here. And keep in mind, if you have a little spill out the sides, that's no problem whatsoever. Now this will take about, depending on how crispy you want your waffle, and I want mine a little crispy. I want to have some golden brown color there. It'll take about 4.5 minutes to get the waffle just how you like it. One thing that my family does is that when I'm making waffles, I like to do the whole box. And so I have found, especially with this mix, if I make a whole batch, pile them up on a plate, freeze them on a cookie sheet so that they go in so they're not stacked on top of each other, and then keep them in the freezer for mornings, they're great. My kids can pop them in a toaster, no big deal, and it feels a little more luxurious than a standard frozen waffle coming out of the freezer. Not only does it feel more luxurious, it tastes better. Let's be honest, it tastes a lot better. I want to check this. So we've got that steam going. Ooh, this is looking so good. I think we're just about there on the omelets. So once you're there on the omelets, I'm going to unplug my omelets and I'm going to just let that sit for a second. You could absolutely in fact, you know what, let me show you. I want to show you guys how easy it is to transfer these to a plate. Just take my peppers out of there. These are also sold on Amazon. They're really awesome. I like them for whether you're scooping something out of the pesto jar or the peanut butter jar, or you're loosening an omelet from your new omelet maker that's gonna help you cook better breakfasts. Okay, now that our omelets are finished, let's check on our waffles. So you'll see that I've got a little bit of spillage, but that is no problem on the spillage. I do want these to be a little bit more brown, so I'm gonna let them keep going. Unfortunately, it doesn't sing to you when it's done, like the Dash Rapid Egg Cooker, but it will switch to the light when you know it's done. Now, I mentioned these. These are a great tool sold on Amazon. And remember, you can shop everything that I'm sharing with you today in the carousel. So remember, we've talked about the Dash Rapid Egg Cooker. We have talked about the Dash Griddle. We've also talked about the omelet maker. Oh, we can't forget the magic bullet, right? The magic bullet that I've had since I was in college. And we've also got the waffle iron. And all of these Amazon products have 4 stars or higher. So they are really well reviewed, not just by me, by thousands and thousands of other people. I think the winner in this group is the egg cooker that has over 30,000 reviews. The waffle iron has about 15,000. Both the omelet and the griddle have about 5,000. Oh, and the magic bullet also has 30,000. So plenty of people loving these items. I actually want to share one other item with you guys while we finish this waffle that has been a huge hit for me, and I love it in my kitchen, and it's this toaster. So this is one of those items that is an investment for your kitchen. But I bought this, I remember we had an Amazon gift card right after we got married. And my husband thought I was crazy that I wanted to invest in a really nice toaster. But we did. It's a Dualit toaster. They are classic. They are European made. And we have been married 15 years now. And this toaster is still going. So if you're looking to invest in a great toaster, I love it. Evenly browns our toast. As you know, I'm making extra waffles. My kids are popping these waffles in the Dualit toaster, and it's giving us that crispy result with that soft interior time and time again. So this is another breakfast favorite, this Dualit toaster. Definitely have 4 stars and above, and I have absolutely loved it. All right, let's check on this waffle and see how close we are. Ooh. That is looking really, really good. I can see those flecks of raspberry throughout. What I love about this as well is that I can top it with even more fresh berries. One thing I like to do when I'm cooking is if I've got something inside the recipe, I like to garnish with that thing on the outside of the recipe. It's almost like a surprise, right? Or it gives them a hint about what's the surprise inside. That's looking so good. All right, so my waffles are done. Speaking of waffles, I want to talk about pancakes for just a minute, because pancakes tend to be another thing that is so well loved with breakfast. And I've got a product I want to share with you, which is the pancake pen. So the pancake pen is great, and this would be wonderful with that Dash Griddle. I like using the Krusty's Shocker pancake mix, but I also like using Kodiak cakes. There's a variety of other pancakes that are great that maybe have a bit more protein in them. Maybe you have your weekend waffles and your weekend pancakes and your healthier waffles and pancakes throughout the week, but it doesn't matter. All of these products can be used with whatever recipe you wanted to take on. But what happens here is you screw off the bottom here, you add your pancake mix or your batter that you've already made. I have added the Just Add Water mix in here before, then the water, you screw it on and you shake it up. Now my husband is quite the pancake artist. You should see the stuff that he does. First of all, he always does everyone's name. So he does my kids' names in the pancake art on the griddle, and it's really fun. They get a kick out of eating each of their letters and having a blast. During the winter months, he'll do snowmen and Santa Claus and things like that. And obviously, as the holidays change throughout the year, the pancake pen is such a fun thing to have. All right, we've got waffles, we have got omelets. Look how beautiful that is. Didn't that turn out so, so pretty? I also want to bring out this griddle one more time for you guys and show you just how great it is. Remember, we made our bacon. We made our egg in a hole. And I want to remind you that you can also do savory things on this as well. So you can do the hot dogs, you can do the hamburgers, you can do the fajitas, whatever it may be. It is great for breakfast, but it is also great for lunch, dinner, and other things. So this really has earned its 4- and 5-star rating on Amazon. Remember the egg cooker. We have the egg cooker that could do the poached eggs. It can do the hard-boiled eggs. It can do the omelets as well. I find that I tend to use it for making those hard-boiled eggs more than anything else. I mentioned to you guys how easy it is to peel. Let me show you this. Something about the way it's cooked just makes peeling these eggs super simple. There's nothing worse than trying to peel a hard-boiled egg when everything comes off in itty-bitty pieces. These ones are still a little warm, so if they're cooler, they're even easier, but there is no slowly picking shells off. It's really simple. Look at that. And then you can just go in, like I said, you could do deviled eggs, you can just eat them as is. It really is such a great high protein snack. And I think eggs are one of those things that it's like the most affordable protein that you can get. So if you are looking to get protein for you, for your kids, for your family, eggs are a great way to do that. All right, check that out. Isn't that so cool? And remember, we did the poached eggs in here before, which makes my husband so happy because he loves those poached eggs. Dash also makes, if you find yourself with a bigger family, they also make this same rapid egg cooker in a double-decker. So you can do either the 6 eggs or you can do 12 eggs, I believe. So check that product out if you've got a bigger family and you're wanting to do more than half a dozen eggs. That is definitely something to consider. Okay, so we've got our roundup. Let's wrap this up. We've got our eggs, we've got our omelet maker, we've got our griddle, we have our waffles as well, and we can't forget the magic bullet, our delicious green smoothie that really is so awesome when it comes to making simple smoothies and gets the job done. These are 5 of the highest rated breakfast products on Amazon, all earning 4 stars or higher, and for good reason. Look at all the food we made in just under an hour. Now remember, if you guys liked the show today, you can click the follow button. I would love for you to follow along with me, be alerted every time I come out with a new 4-star episode. Really excited to continue doing this regularly and bringing you great products that thousands and thousands of other people love that I will know you love too. You can continue shopping along the carousel, or you can also find every Amazon product that I've mentioned today on my Amazon shop page. So you can just search Kelsey Nixon Amazon shop page. It will take you there where I have recipe videos, product review videos, all sorts of different shopping lists, and then access to all of my lives on Amazon as well. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you guys had a great time, and here's to better breakfast this year. Thanks, guys.